Hey, Curtis,
Hey, Oz.
what movie do you have to kick off November?
Kicking off November and War Movie Month. We have Con Air meets The Last King of Scotland,
Mm.
all taking place at an NRA convention. This week, we're watching Lord of War.
That's a fitting movie marriage. Had I been doing the movie marriage, I would have thrown in because I was thinking about this if it were my movie. I would have thrown in like that Aaron Eckhart movie, Thank You for Not Smoking.
Yes, yeah, that would have been a great one as well. Didn't even cross my mind, but
You
that
know,
makes
it just kind
complete
of fits.
sense.
Like
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing is wrong,
hmm
but I'm benefiting from it.
Yeah.
So
And I'm good at it.
yeah, exactly, and I'm good at it. So,
Uh-huh. It's my sense of identity. Who are you to take that away from me? Killing millions of people. Bah.
but it's not killing
Ah.
me.
Nope.
So, thinking of being good at things, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, the weekly podcast where we take a monthly theme, new month.
New theme, new month.
We are covering, like you said earlier, war movies. Movies that must have the consecutive letters WAR
Yes.
in the title somewhere.
They
So,
must be in there.
you've got to be in there. And they got to be consecutive.
Yes.
Got to be consecutive.
No RAWs. This is not raw movies.
Right, no. And no, like, other letters between them. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but
No ARQZ. What W?
you know, like who framed Roger Rabbit would be one of those movies.
They're all there.
There's a WAR in that title.
Hear me out.
No, but welcome back to Let's Talk About Flicks. So I'm one of your hosts, Oz,
I'm the other host, Curtis.
and I am definitely going to make a very valiant effort right now to give a shout out to our Patreon subscribers, Don S, Aaron A, and Mandy K. We did not forget you, and we are not capping you off at the end of the show with, hey, remember those guys? So thank you guys again for your patronage. Lord of War.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit pre-show, you know, and I thought the conversation we were having pre-show was probably more fruitful than the movie potentially itself.
Again, as we said, it's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. That's 7.6 on IMDb. That's an excellent rating
Yeah,
on
it
IMDb.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a solid film.
Yeah. And neither of us got that excited about it.
No, I have a feeling that I would be extremely bored in the company of someone who's like, my favorite film is Lord of War.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I know exactly what you mean.
I just like, oh, okay.
And that person probably falls on one of two extreme ends of the political spectrum.
Yeah.
either.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're either going to be extremely vanilla
Yeah.
or they're going to be Charlton Heston.
Yeah. Charlton Heston.
Right. They're going to be that couple down in like, what was it, like the St. Louis area with the,
Oh my God. Yeah.
during that Black Lives Matter
Uh-huh.
like rally. Yeah.
This will teach those people I don't like inherently because I'm biased. I'm gonna brandish guns at them.
That's right. They'll know. They'll know what side of the fence I'm on. I love, despite how disgusting those two people were. Like, I really enjoyed every opportunity I got to see them in a picture with their guns. She's all like, "I have a guns." Like, stick them up, copper.
Oh, hey. Ah.
Oh, just pure terror on their faces.
Yeah.
So, they probably find this movie very, very good. So,
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
yeah, I love Lord of War. But no, here we are. Your movie.
Yeah.
Your movie this week. So
My movie, so you got the characters out.
I do. I've got the cast of characters. A lot of people, really small cast, really.
Yeah, I would agree.
So what we're looking at here is Nicolas Cage is our main character. And you know he's the main character because, one, he's in every frame of
He
the
is.
movie.
He is.
And two, we get to hear him talk to us while he's acting right in front of us. So,
Hey, Vitaly, you see that lamp?
right. It's very like Ron Howard Arrested Development of
Yeah.
he's giving the voiceover of a non-silent film. Like,
There's always guns in the banana stand.
right. And so we got Nicolas Cage as Yuri Orlov.
Uh-huh.
and his brother, Vitaly Orlov, played by the calm, cool, and collected Jared Leto.
Uh-huh. When I think former Soviet bloc, I think Nicolas Cage and Jared Leto.
I definitely do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are Jewish Ukrainians. Well, fake Jewish Ukrainians.
Yes, Fody Jewish.
Yeah.
Jewish.
Exactly. I like that. There's a hyphen.
Yeah.
And we have, really a very solid cast.
Yeah, some good actors in this movie.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke showing up as Jack Valentine, the FBI, CIA.
I expected him to have like a little thin black mask on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with just little eye slits.
He needed something. But,
Jack Valentine.
He's like a news reporter for Globe.
Jack Valentine, here is the scoop coming at you, folks.
Jack Valentine on the beat. So he's in there as really the, I guess, good guy.
Sure.
Bridget Moynihan as Ava Fontaine, Nicolas Cage's, I don't know, she's there.
Trophy.
Yep, this trophy wife. We have honestly probably my favorite performance in the movie as Eamon Walker as Andre Baptiste.
Yep.
I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
He's in here as well as his son, not played by his son, Sammy Ratibi. Ian Holm makes an appearance several times.
Yes, Bilbo's in this.
Yeah. He's there. And that's really about it. We got Yuri's uncle, General Dmitry Volkov, Nikolai Volkov, Boris Zukov.
The Bolsheviks.
The Bolsheviks were here.
They're here.
Yeah.
At one point, they wrestled the Bushwhackers and had a best 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah. Thankfully, Hacksaw Jim Duggan came in with his American flag to let everybody know who the real winner is.
Ho!
But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of like extras in the film, but really that's it.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people are circumstantial at best. Like, the movie would not have been any different if Jared Leto and Bridget Moynihan and Ian Holm were all gone.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been that dramatically different. Same narrative. Just you'd have a couple minor beats different.
Yeah, it's like somehow Andrew Niccol took $42 to $50 million budget and made a one-man stage play.
Basically.
That's what it feels like.
It does, yeah. He's always there.
Yeah, and so that's it with the cast. It's pretty short, tight.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, as far as the plot of Lord of War, as I think about this movie, I always want to put like a British accent on. He's the Lord of War.
He's the Bishop of Grenades. Archduke of Artillery.
Archduke.
Arterial Archduke.
So yeah, we opened on a field of bullet casings, and Yuri telling us that there is one firearm on the planet for every 12 people. And this next line really kind of captures the whole movie. How do we arm the other 11?
Mm-hmm.
It's capitalism at its finest, folks.
Yes.
That's what this is. For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield plays as we watch CG bullets get manufactured, shipped around the world, ending with African guerrillas, and then a bullet's POV shot of it blasting through a young boy's head.
What did you think of this opening title sequence?
I thought it was supposed to... I have a feeling that the same people who like this opening title sequence also, like, they would put Boondock Saints as their favorite movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Really love The Crow.
Got the big Pulp Fiction, like Sam Jackson, like poster.
Oh yeah.
Behind your bed in your dorm room.
Yeah, yeah. I found the opening title sequence pretty dumb. Like, I don't know why. The POV of that bullet from manufacture to usage to me was like, the CG, I guess, was just so obvious CG.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That it was like, this is kind of dumb.
We were still at this was mid-2000s when this movie was made, I think 05.
Yeah. 05.
And, it's when CG really, literally shot the shot. Like, it looks good there, it looks awful there, and...
Yeah, but I know that budget has a lot to do with it. I get tired of that, like, people leaning on that when Jurassic Park has already been made.
Yeah, when that was made 12 years prior to this.
Granted, I know that budget makes a lot of difference, but so do years. And this is 12 years later. If you can't give me Jurassic Park quality CG in the mid 2000s on a $50 million budget, so
yeah, and there weren't even any T-Rexes in this.
No, not one T-Rex.
Not one.
How are you going to arm those T-Rexes?
With their tiny arms.
Even Kung Fury had dinosaurs with guns.
And that movie was made with a box of scraps.
Oh, you beat me to it.
I had a feeling.
So my mouth started to form a B, and I'm like, I'll be kind.
Box of scraps.
And that was shot in some guy's garage, and he had dinosaurs with guns.
Yeah, it's just in a cave.
A man cave with a box of scraps.
Man cave with a box of scraps. Case of old style. Yuri narrates that as a Ukrainian boy, his family migrated to Brighton Beach / Little Odessa. They pretended to be Jewish to escape into America, and the father has really bought into that identity, quite literally.
Going to temple.
Yeah. Which I did find kind of amusing.
I did too. She's like, you go to temple more than the rabbi.
Yeah. Yuri witnesses a botched hit job and realizes that people need war because that's one's coming of age moment.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much in this movie that just didn't make a lot of sense, but it might be because I'm not on that side of the fence.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, hey, Oz, I'm a college and career counselor at a high school, and just like with Yuri, it took this moment of him watching someone die to have that epiphany on career. I encourage my students to also seek out those same moments to have that same epiphany.
Right. Yeah, go south side of Chicago if you got some time. Go inner city and get that epiphany.
Yep. Witness that trauma, and you too will figure out your career path.
Make sure that you let them know why you're there.
Uh-huh.
You're not there to cause trouble. No. You're just there to learn.
I'm here for self-actualization.
I don't know how good I've got it until I see how bad you don't.
Yeah, well stated. Yuri asks his younger brother, Vitaly, again played by the aforementioned Oscar winner, Jared Leto.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
We also have Oscar winner Nicolas Cage. So
asks him to be his partner. Profit margins are in war, not gangs, as they said. We hear Ride of the Valkyries play at the 1983 Berlin's Arms Fair. Yuri tries to talk with the fellow arms deal Simeon Weiss, played by Bilbo himself, Ian Holm.
Right.
Simeon says he picks sides. He sold weapons to both Iran and Iraq because bullets change governments far surer than votes. That is a scary, scary thought, Oz.
Oh, it's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not... I mean, I can't tell if making a movie like this is a bold move or just an obvious move.
I think yes.
You know what I mean?
That's the answer, yeah.
I could see easily where Andrew Niccol is like, I've got a statement to make here. But then by making it, everyone's like, well, duh.
Yeah. We then cut to like a year later, 84, war-torn Lebanon. They're there to sell weapons, and they witness child soldiers getting executed. You'd think this would be one of those moments where someone with a conscience, someone with morality would say, you know what, we're on the wrong side of this.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, it just kind of fuels his passion.
I feel that Vitaly tried.
Yeah.
On a couple of different times. I feel like he tried to be that like, whoa, we're in too deep.
Yeah.
But then that's when Yuri's like, you're absolutely right. We're in too deep. We can't get out now.
Yeah, that's how you know we got it. We're in too deep.
Look how deep we are.
Mm-hmm. It's like that Phil Collins song, In Too Deep.
Exactly. Uh-huh. When you hear that in the soundtrack, you know you've reached the apex.
Yeah, you're there.
Can't get any deeper.
Money, That's What I Want plays, as Yuri says, selling guns is like selling vacuum cleaners. They're out at sea. They're about to get pulled over, and they're big like, I don't know, like sales ship.
Yeah, basically this big like shipping, they shipping containers. It's like this giant transport.
And they're about to get pulled over at sea by Interpol Agent Jack Valentine.
Right. Beat reporter, Jack Valentine.
Here, I had to get the scoop on the streets, Jack Valentine. What do you see, kid? As Valentine's ship approaches, they literally rechristen the boat. They repaint the name of the boat. I thought that was a fun sequence.
It was. There were a few fun sequences in this movie.
Yeah.
And you knew when they were fun because Nicolas Cage wasn't voiceovering those scenes.
Yes.
Like you let them happen without being told what was going on.
A bit later, Yuri is shot while brokering a deal. They wanted to give him cocaine instead of money, and they shot him. He's like, all right, the coke is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Vitaly runs off after 2 weeks with a kilo of coke, and Vitaly kind of has an addiction problem here, Oz. So Yuri checks Vitaly into rehab, and there's a recurring bit where every time Yuri checks Vitaly into rehab, he gives him one last line of blow before he goes in.
I like the last time he drops him off where, like, I think the guy's name was Christian. Like, he opens the door and Vitaly's like, hey, Christian.
Yeah. Hey, Vitaly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all on a first name basis.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Yuri stages. He's very taken with this model, Ava Valentine. You know, she's the pursuit. You know, she's the trophy. She's the thing to be won. And so he stages a fake photo shoot, buys out an entire hotel to woo her. Finally gets her onto his fake jet, or his fake private jet.
Yes.
Because there's nothing really real about Yuri. I did like the little bit as the plane is taking off. The recently paint that, you know, with his name on the wing, it runs off because they literally just painted his name on it, you know, moments before she arrived.
That was fun. I like that.
Cut to their wedding reception where his father says Mazel Tov. She tells him, I know you're not everything you seem to be, but I'm not going to ask a lot of questions. And that really kind of defines their relationship, Oz.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Healthy, transparent, honest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like what you provided for me, and I don't want to know how you got it.
Yeah, because I like the things that you give me, and I like the way we live. And
I like the way you move. That should have been in the soundtrack, too.
It should have been in there, yeah. Get up, get busy. Yeah. Cut to Christmas 91. Yuri misses his son taking the first steps because he's in the other room watching Gorbachev on TV, ending the Cold War. He then kisses the TV instead of his son, who just took his first steps.
I had mixed feelings about this scene. Mm-hmm. As a family man, obviously being present for the first steps of your child, like I get that.
It's Gorbachev, though.
But and for me, it wasn't so much Gorbachev, but it's like, if you were fleeing Cold War Soviet Union and now it's dissolved, granted, his purposes are different, but it's like, in some ways, let's fast forward to something current. Like, if the Russia-Ukraine war, and let's say I was Ukrainian and I fled my country, and now I'm here in the States, but I'm still monitoring the Russia-Ukraine incident. And then Russia decides to completely pull out of the Ukraine and seize everything that they've been doing. Therefore, Ukraine kind of winning. And if it happened to me on the same day that my kid took his first steps, I can in some ways understand, like, yeah, that kid walking is great. Milestone, absolutely don't want to miss it. But, like, this is world changing on the other side. Now, granted, Yuri's spot is obviously much more economic driven, but
I understand that it's a world change. It's one of those moments. It's the Kennedy assassination. It's the Challenger exploding.
Fall of the Berlin Wall. Like,
yeah, exactly. However, he's not kissing Gorbachev on the TV because of this moment. He's changing it because he knows business is about to get good.
Right. Yeah, I'm aware of that too. But it's just from the because, you know, she was very irritated. Like, your son just took his first steps. Like, that's great. You know, but again, I know the through line of the plot, but it's like, in one of these life-changing moments, like, that doesn't dismiss the importance of this milestone in your family, but, like, this was a monumental shift in the world.
I'm laughing at the other mundane things that he would have been kissing the TV for. Like, the Cubs just won 2 games of a doubleheader.
It's like Sham Wow's buy one get one free shipping if you order now.
I'm watching The Price is Right, and the wheel stopped on the dollar. The first spin.
He did it.
I got it. He won $1,000.
Oh yeah, this stuff like that. Like, your son took his first steps. That's great, honey, but Showcase Showdown.
but. Oh, let's see. Yep. Yuri drops Vitaly off at rehab again. we cut to Odessa, the actual Odessa, Ukraine, not little Odessa.
Right.
As the communist symbol is lowered and a crane behind Yuri, and he says disgruntled soldiers in warehouses full of weapons are great for weapons dealers. So he goes over there. Because, these armies are like in this huge transition, government's in transition. So he's there to basically buy out all of these weapons just sitting around, at dirt cheap prices to flip them.
Before the new regime even knows they're there.
Uh-huh. So as Yuri sits at a fallen statue of Lenin, Simeon Weiss also arrives there. So again, this same other war profiteer is there to try to buy these weapons as well. Weiss asks to partner with Yuri. Yuri insults him and turns him down.
I wasn't good enough for you then.
Mm-mm. Yeah, Weiss says the problems with gun runners going to war is that there's no shortage of ammunition. So Yuri talks about the Kalashnikov, a.k.a. the AK-47, and how it's Russia's greatest export. Interesting thing to celebrate, Oz.
Yeah. Well, he also put like suicidal novelists on there, on third on the list. So.
Yeah. Valentine and Interpol pull up as Yuri's crew repaints war helicopters. Those aren't war helicopters. Those aren't attack ships. Those are rescue ships.
Yeah, we took the artillery off of them.
Yeah. So Yuri gets by Valentine on a technicality, which again, that's the recurring bit. Yuri's always one step ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Valentine's aware that he knows the rules, and he got me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Valentine, even Yuri narrates, Valentine, he's too moral. He's too good of a man for this role that he's in. Cut to 1995 Liberia, Oz. This is really kind of where the movie settles in here.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie really is set in kind of Western, war-torn Africa, and these nations that are just consistently in conflict. Yuri does the bulk of his business there. He's brought to meet, as you mentioned during the character rundown, Andre Baptiste, who shoots a young soldier because he's eyeing a woman and not paying attention. During Yuri's little presentation there. And Yuri is upset because Baptiste, now he has to buy the gun because it's used, because of, depreciation.
Yeah.
He's not upset that the kid died.
No, but now you have to buy it.
Yeah, it's used. I can't get back, top dollar for that. Yuri is supplied with two hot women in his hotel room, but he turns them down because he's afraid of disease.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
He's also proven to this point he's not loyal to his wife.
No, yeah.
This purely was the fear of AIDS or another disease. This wasn't because I'm devoted to my spouse.
Yeah, he's well past that.
The one that I've lusted after my entire life and now have.
Yeah, well, he's won the trophy now. He's off to win the trophy.
It's time to move on.
Yeah. Baptiste shows Yuri how his child's shoulders are holding AK-47s, and Baptiste uses blood diamonds to pay. Andy, as Yuri calls him, tells Yuri, they call me the Lord of War, but perhaps it is you. So there it is, Az.
Yep.
And I just realized I stole your thunder there.
Nope, not yet. Nope, you're good. I'm okay with that one.
I didn't call it out.
It's later on that I've got my eyes on another one.
just cut me off. Cut the feed if I start into it. Back in New York in the late 90s, again, this movie just kind of goes as far as like the time frame that it's in. We're now in the late 90s in New York. Yuri is paying off someone to buy Ava's painting. Ava's trying, she tried to make it as an actress and that didn't work. And then she's trying to make it as an artist and that didn't work, to the point that, Yuri paid someone to buy her painting, and then he stashes it. He has this shipping container that he keeps all of his private records in. It's under the Brooklyn Bridge or something like that. And he just goes there when he needs to, for his records and get
his passports and
all of his different identities. So Yuri kisses his son goodnight, takes his son's toy gun with him, and he throws it away. Yuri realizes the next day he's being followed in his limo by helicopters from the feds. Ava notices Valentine's men going through the garbage, and Valentine pulls out the toy gun as well as shredded records that he then recreates to try to build up some evidence here.
Yeah. I bet that's hard.
Yeah, to take all the shreddings. Well, and there's no cross cut. It's just the vertical cut.
Yeah,
so.
it's all it is. Yeah, it's not confetti.
No.
Yuri's an idiot. Should have confettied him.
Yeah, you got to turn it 90 degrees and run it through again.
Right. Cross-cut him.
Mm-hmm. Cut to Yuri in a private plane. I was now the best merchant of death alive. He's running guns into several African countries. At one point, he's on a giant cargo ship in a jet fighter with Valentine in it. He's riding in the second seat in the fighter. Orders Yuri's plane to land at a nearby airport. Yuri orders the pilot to land on a rural highway. There's a really tense scene of this plane landing amongst civilians just running everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, this scene had me almost put Catch Me If You Can in a movie if I were doing it.
Uh-huh.
Because it just felt like it's like the Tom Hanks...
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
DiCaprio. It's like he just was everywhere following and chasing him, and he just couldn't pin him down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another good one for a movie marriage as well. Catch Me If You Can. On the ground, Yuri opens the back and says, "Guns, guns, guns! Everything goes!" As he gives away everything to the locals before Valentine can kind of regroup his men to get there.
It was like 15 minutes later. I'm like, you cleared out that cargo ship in a ridiculous amount of time. And where did these people take this stuff?
Yeah, but they're all gone.
Villages around.
No, they're all gone by the time Valentine gets there. Valentine just tells him, "You get rich by giving the poorest people on the planet the means to continue killing each other. Your AK-47s are the real weapons of mass destruction." Valentine can legally hold him for 24 hours, so he just handcuffs him and just leaves him there.
Yeah.
Just leaves him there for 24 hours. And we get a fun little time lapse.
This was cool. I like
behind Yuri's just kind of kneeling on the ground. You see the entire plane just get stripped in this 24-hour span. This huge cargo plane. Valentine, again, he ends up, he comes back, they free Yuri. He returns to his hotel room, and once he gets back there, he finds a bound Sibian Vise there, held by Baptiste, who says that he's trying to replace you, and he gives Yuri a gun, tells him kill him. He's trying to replace you.
Yeah.
V says he's not there to supply Baptiste, but to supply Baptiste's enemies, because again, he doesn't pick sides. Yuri refuses to take the gun. Baptiste says, "We'll do it together. We'll call it a bonding experience." So, with Yuri's finger on the trigger, Baptiste pulls it and just sprays Ian Holm all over the back of some windows.
Yep. It was all milky and it was cables. It
was everywhere.
It was kind of surprising. Like I don't think they realized he was an android.
That Bishop walks in.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. Like
at the bar downstairs, Yuri is forced to do a line of brown, which is a combination of cocaine and gunpowder. I guess there's worse things though that could be called brown.
It's cocaine and weak old poop. We waited for it to dry so we could powder it.
Yeah. So you can cut it up. You could use a pestle and mortar.
It's brown. It's brown rice and old poop.
It's an old moldy avocado and old dog poop.
It's quinoa and bits of crayon.
Ooh, well, at least it's good for you there.
It's true.
High in fiber.
It's true. Right up the nose.
He runs through the streets high on cocaine, hallucinating his almost kill, runs into hyenas because he basically is a hyena. How's that for your thick narrative plot there?
Very thick. Yeah, it was. If you didn't understand it, it laid it all out there for you.
We cut to Valentine at Yuri's home talking with Ava as their son shoots finger guns at Valentine. Pew, pew, pew. Valentine asks Ava to help him, says her parents were killed in a home invasion by illegal guns. She asks Valentine to leave, but however, she's clearly in the midst of some kind of moral crisis here.
Yeah, she's shaken.
Yeah. So Yuri comes home to a naked Ava, says she can't wear the clothes or drive the car. They all have blood on them. And she hands Yuri Valentine's Interpol business card. And he tells her, "I sell people the means to defend themselves. What he does is legal." She says, "It's wrong. I don't care if it's legal." And he doesn't want to stop doing it. In fact, there's a quote. He says, "I'm good at it."
Yeah. That's why he does it.
Yeah, I'm
Because
good
she
at
asks
it.
him, he's like, why do you do it? He goes, we have enough. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need any more. And he's like, I'm good at it.
That's his purpose. Again, that's his. Like I was kind of half kidding before with that like actualization bit, but like this is fulfilling for him.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know what to do if he didn't do this. It's so wrapped into his identity. As Ava walks away, Yuri says, "My enemies have finally found a weapon that could hurt me." Ooh, deep.
Yeah, real deep. So deep that they announced it in a voiceover, so you didn't miss it.
Yep. This movie is not subtle, folks.
No.
He narrates that he stopped selling guns for 6 months. He tries to sell oil. As Valentine, you kind of see Valentine listening into things. He's complaining that it's hard to make an honest buck because too many people are doing it. Baptiste, now the president of Liberia, drops by Yuri's home. Hey, I'm here for the United Nations. You get that? And he kind of. Baptiste says, "I'm having trouble resupplying. The UN is watching me too closely, but I know you know how to get past that." He hands Yuri the largest diamond ever.
And then says, Lord of War.
Uh-huh.
And that is the one I jumped on.
Yep.
The rest of it, like, it was in part of a sentence. Like, whatever. But this one, he's just straight, Lord of War. I'm like, yes.
There it is. Your favorite thing, which I have a feeling will come back in a few minutes.
Uh-huh.
As Yuri is about to leave on an oil trip for business, he knows that she knows that he's lying. And he knows that, she says she trusts him, and again, he knows it's basically over at this point. Ava and her son get in a car and follow Yuri to the shipping office, and she uses the son's birthday because that's that old trick there, Oz.
Yeah, we didn't. Well, because if it would have been some random number, we'd have had to film that scene a lot longer. So.
She's just literally going through every combination. Cut to 74 hours later.
0002 0003.
She sees the guns, the passports, the documents. She even sees the painting that he bought to kind of satiate her, in the past. Yuri visits a sober Vitaly who has a girlfriend. Yuri guilts him back into going, "I'm sure great things are going to happen at this point, Oz."
Right. Yeah, he gave him a red Starfleet shirt to put on before they left.
Well, just one more time. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Just put this one on real quick. I promise I will never
die. Cut to them with crates full of weapons on a runway in Liberia. Baptiste and his son are there. Vitaly is, of course, looking incredibly nervous. The weapons are for their partners in Sierra Leone. Yuri narrates the irony of the terrorist groups calling themselves freedom fighters. The camera pushes in on Vitaly as he witnesses a mother and son killed by insurgents with machetes. And he tells Yuri, "We can't do this. The moment we sell them these guns, that entire town down there is going to get mowed down."
Right.
Yuri just says, "It's not our business."
Yeah.
Class act, that Yuri, Oz.
Yeah.
So Vitaly begrudgingly tells Yuri to proceed, and then, Oz, we get a crazy sequence here. Vitaly then hits Baptiste's son with a tire iron and explodes an entire truck of munitions. There were 2 big trucks there. He throws a grenade in one of them. Vitaly is then mowed down with machine gun fire right as he's trying to throw a grenade in the other truck. So he dies as he's trying to pull the pin on this other grenade. So he gets mowed down, holds the grenade in his hand. He tries to pull it, and Yuri walks over, repins it. Vitaly then dies. Yuri goes back over and finishes the deal with the remaining half of the guns. Crazy sequence, Oz.
Yeah, he shouldn't have screwed around with his business. I really didn't understand why he brought Yuri along, or Vitaly along anyway.
I think by this point he knew that his marriage was basically done, and so
he's like, I need you to watch my back.
Sure.
Like, you haven't needed him this entire time.
No, you want him there to feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he basically got his brother killed.
Yep.
So they make the deal. Yuri says the village is massacred, just like Vitaly predicted. They ship Vitaly's corpse back. He has all the bullets removed, but they miss one. And because of that, he's arrested by the ATF at the port of entry back in the United States.
Right.
In jail, he calls Ava, who doesn't answer. He then calls his parents. They say both of our sons are dead.
Right.
Valentine is there with the remaining bullet, shows Yuri a copy of today's newspaper with the headline, Merchant of Death in Custody. Yuri tells Valentine he'll be released, that the U.S. government has him do their dirty work by distributing weapons they can't be seen doing, which really kind of captures the whole point of the movie's message right there.
It's like kind of a real mild twist. Like this whole time you think, oh, he got him. He finally got him. And he's like, you didn't get me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
not the bad guy. The government's the real bad guy.
Almost like I rank higher than you. Like I'm untouchable.
Mm-hmm. He's then released. And he's shown bringing more weapons now into the Middle East as opposed to Africa, because at this point we're getting closer to modern day. Yuri then narrates directly into the camera as we get kind of an epilogue here. You know who's going to inherit the earth? Arms dealers, because everyone else is too busy killing each other. That's the secret to survival. Never go to war, especially with yourself.
Ooh.
The camera pulls away, ending where it began, and we get the post-credits tag. This film is based on actual events. The world's biggest gun runners are the U.S., U.K., Russia, France, and China, the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. Message.
Mic drop.
And that, folks, is 2005's Lord of War. Lord of War. At this point in the show, folks, Oz and I each give our own unique rating to the film we've been yapping about. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm going to give it a 47.
47.
Yep. Just a random number. Yep. Nothing to do with this film at all.
The Kalishnikov.
Right, but he got it.
I'm going to rate this movie with all of the guns.
Okay.
All of them. That's my number. That's my number. All of them.
All
of the guns is my rating. Next up, we've got Outside Insights. Oz and I have been scouring the interwebs, searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well. Oz, what is your Outside Insight?
I have a 5-star review from Peaceful Stoner.
I can already see where this is going. Peaceful Stoner.
Peaceful Stoner on Letterboxd. Now, I'm only going to read the first 4 paragraphs. Mm-hmm. I left off, but you'll see where this is going. Uh-huh. Okay. In all caps, oh my God, what a movie. I think this must be one of the most heavily researched movies ever made. This would give you the most encyclopedic, all-embracing knowledge about guns, missiles, grenades, bullets, machine guns, semi-automatics, AK-47s, Magnum, guns that John Rambo uses, and every F-word firearm on Earth.
Super soakers.
And you also get a hands-on free course of the wars that were fought in recent history. If you watch it, director Andrew Niccol and everyone involved in the movie must have worked their butts off so much that it would have torn.
That's a lot of butt working.
I think that this might be one of Nicolas Cage's best performances, if not his best. I think Bridget Moynihan is one of the most beautiful women who lived, or gonna live on Earth. Because, as she said in the movie herself, the only thing she did right was to be born beautiful. But don't get me wrong, she does do a good job in the movie. I think this has got one of the innovative opening credits ever done in the history of cinema. It is fair for a movie about guns and bullets to be started from the point of view of a bullet, ain't it? F-word genius. And then it just, 4 more paragraphs of that. Yeah. So, Peaceful Stoner, really liked the movie.
I could tell, this person really enjoyed the movie, completely agreed with the political messaging here, the social commentary, blah,
which
blah, blah.
I found a little ironic that this is, Peaceful Stoner.
Yep. Seems to like his guns.
Yeah.
Or at least the talk of it.
Peace.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, what's your outside?
Well, Oz, I find it hilarious that you went with Peaceful Stoner. My handle here won't reflect it, but once I get to the content, I think we found opposite sides, which I absolutely love here. My Outside Insight is a 1 out of 10 review from Wino Paul on the Internet Movie Database from March 2006, so pretty soon after this movie came out. I hope Walmart takes this back. It sucks on so many levels, it is hard to detail them all. Even the commentary was unwatchable. See Walk the Line commentary for greatness. I decided to take it back because of the lame something anti-gun screed. It is so pathetic hearing the creators talk about their limited budget. I guess when your purpose is proselytizing and not entertainment, there is not enough money in the world to allow narcissists the tools to make everybody believe just what they believe. Do not buy, do not rent, do not torrent, do not watch. If Walmart won't take it back, I am going to reverse shoplift it out of their shelf, just so the next poor guy can't be disappointed without making any more money for the creators of this abomination.
Reverse shoplift it. They won't give me the money back. I'm just going to put it back.
I skipped over a lot here, but again, you could really see where this guy was coming from.
Yeah. I wonder if Peaceful Stoner was the next guy to pick up that reverse shoplifted.
Probably. It was the same copy.
This movie is great, man. Bridget Moynihan. Oh, my. Oh,
yeah.
I really like this Outside Insight segment we do.
Yeah, it's fun. Just the different takes people have on these things. And what they choose to share in a public forum as well.
Walmart better take this back.
If not, I am going to put it back on the shelf so that money can't be made. Rawr, rawr, rawr.
Like that barcode still works there, Chief.
well, yeah, but
still,
All right, folks, it's that point in the show you've all been waiting for. Our signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about the film in question, 2005's Lord of War. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first one is the plane landing on the dirt highway scene.
Yep, that was fun.
That whole, like, not any particular part of it, but just that whole scene of the landing and the getting rid of the weapons and the stripping down.
Yep.
Like, it just, the whole scene was fun.
Yep.
That's my first good. My second one, I really enjoyed Andre Baptiste not understanding how compound words work.
Yeah.
It keeps pulling them apart and reversing them. Yep. Lord of War instead of Warlord.
Turns them into prepositions.
They're on the hunt for a witch.
Yeah.
That's a witch hunt. But it's like also Yuri kept telling him what he means.
I would love to hear number 45 frame it that way, because everything is a witch hunt to him. I would love to hear him say, I'm the victim of a hunt for a witch. As he's doing that weird thing with his hands. I'm the victim of a hunt for a witch.
People. Oh, my. Yeah, so I just enjoyed that. The first time I noticed that it was cute, and then it's like 2 or 3 more times throughout the movie. So it wasn't too much, but it was enough to be like, that's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. And my third titular line.
Titular line, there it is.
And again, I've referenced, I think, every time I use this as a good, but there's just something about an obvious title drop. You know, the first time you'd mentioned, sorry, I saw your thunder. I'm like, no, it's good. Like, he was talking about, they call me the Lord of War, but maybe it's you. Like that, I didn't even take that as titular. That was conversational.
Yeah.
But when he handed him that huge blood diamond outside of his not a house, but
his home, his residence,
home, and he just looks at him and he goes, Lord of War, and I'm like,
he should have just turned to the camera.
He should have. But I'm like, that is a titular line.
I know you can get guns into my country. Lord of War.
Lord of War. So those are my 3 goods. What do you got?
Oh, let's see. My 3 goods. I'm going to start with just the casting of 2 enormous overactors in the leads and getting away with it. Mm-hmm. At least to a point. Yes, Bridget Moynihan and the kid who played the son. No, just simply the casting process. Like, if you're gonna put people in this movie, you may as well go way over the top.
Yeah,
and yeah. My second related good is I didn't mind Nick Cage in this movie. So my second one is, again, he's on screen 99% of the time, and again, with Nick Cage, it's boom or bust. You're either going to get full out screaming at the top of his lungs, or you're going to get a decent performance. And we got it. We got good Nicolas Cage in this.
Yeah, it was good Nick Cage.
Yeah.
It wasn't even bad Jared Leto.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've obviously seen him far crazier in film too.
Yeah.
This was okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Nick Cage, tip of the cap to you. And then my third good is, like, you can't argue against the message.
No,
it still holds up today, as you mentioned before. Like, it held up 50 years ago. It held up then. It holds up today. It'll continue to hold up in the future, folks. Guns kill people, and the guns specifically talked about in this movie kill people. Yeah. Not all guns are designed to kill people, but guns that are designed to kill people are the bad guns.
They're really effective at what they.
Yes. They do the job that they were made to do: kill people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, those are my three goods. As what are your two bads?
My first one is kind of piggybacking off of your Cage and Leto conversation. Do these two gentlemen, do they know how to act? Or, because, like, Cage and Leto were just Cage and Leto.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like Nicolas Cage was, I'm Yuri Orlov from the Ukraine. I'm like, no, you're not. You're Nicolas Cage.
You're Nick Cage.
There's no accent.
Yeah.
There's not. You're Nick Cage.
Yeah.
You could have been like, I'm Ted Johnson from Hoboken, and I'd have been like, okay. I mean, so, like, granted, we've seen a lot of movies where we even talked about it last week with, Missy and Judd and their terrible main accents, where you have actors that are trying to fit the culture they're in. Nick and Jared here are like,
no,
whatever, like
Ukrainian.
So that's my first bad, is that Cage and Leto are just Cage and Leto. Like,
yeah, I'll even jump in here. One of my possible bads was that even, like, Jared Leto was just insufferable. He's just overall, again, he wasn't awful in this movie, but, like, he's just, I don't know. I just find
he gets
grating.
He gets a little bit of a leash for Requiem for a Dream.
Sure.
So, I mean, we can see he has talent in the right hands.
Yeah.
In this movie, like, it wasn't the wrong hands. Like, I just think Andrew Niccol in this particular movie was just, I don't know, like, the message that he had, the movie was just subtle and kind of vanilla, but not subtle at the same time. Like, he took something that's very obvious and was like, let me tell you a story about this. Like, okay, well, we know that guns kill people. But yeah, it's like, so, I mean, Leto didn't go bonkers like he did on, like, Suicide Squad.
It's Morbin time.
Yeah, exactly. But it also, we've seen better performances out of it.
Yeah.
This was just kind of blah.
Yeah.
And then my second bad was, they just absolutely wasted Ian Holm.
Yes, they did.
Not even, like, literally as a character on screen, but just as an actor of his caliber, he was non-existent.
Yeah.
And so
he was there to be a plot device.
Yeah,
he was there to give Yuri, like, a moment, like a tough moral decision. Right.
But it's like you brought in a guy that could have given you so much more, and then you just did nothing with it. Yeah. So it's like they didn't want emotion out of anybody in this film.
Well, that sigh that the Simeon character gave right before he got shot in the head, I think, was probably really Ian Holm sighing, like, ugh.
Finally.
All right, just put me out of my misery.
Yeah. So that's my second bad, was just combination. Those three just didn't leave anything off the table, but there were no surprises either.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Let's see. My first bad, there's just a line. It was kind of towards the end that I just kind of like, ugh. As Yuri is being arrested by the ATF at the point of entry, they found the bullet in Vitaly's corpse. An ATF agent approaches him and, announces himself as ATF, and Yuri says, let me guess, this isn't about the alcohol or tobacco.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I know. My eyes rolled up. Yeah. I know who I am.
You got a chuckle out of that ATF guy. He's like, no, you got it right, Yuri. Ha ha.
Good one, Yuri. High five.
Slaps him on the butt. Good job,
That's
sport.
right.
My other bad is that this movie, again, I agree with the message as I said in my goods, but this movie is super heavy-handed, and I get they're trying to be over the top, but like, I don't know, it felt like an anchor as I was watching this movie. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you've made your point.
2 hours later.
Yes. All right. Ah! So yeah, those are my two bad Zaz. Hey, what's your
Is climbing to the top really this easy?
He did seem to launch his business and get and climb very fast. You're right.
Like, yeah, I mean, as fast as they flew through the years, like, Yuri had no problems.
Yeah.
He went to try to partner with Ian Holm, and Ian Holm's like, I'm not interested. And Yuri's like, well, I'm going to go do it anyway. Like, good for you. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Just pick a niche in an industry and just be at the top.
And just be good at it.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. As long as you're good at it.
Just be the best.
Yeah.
Don't worry about funding or financing or resources or supply chain. No, just be the best.
If fate allows, you will be where you want to be. And if you want to be the best, then just do it.
You're the best. All right.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, it really is that easy.
Yeah, just be the best.
We are not the top podcast about movies because we don't want to be.
No, we're middling because that's our intent. If we wanted to be the best, we'd be the best.
We'd be the best.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and that's the same go. It's not hard.
It's hard.
I mean,
it's harder to be middling than it is to be the best. So,
it takes work.
So we choose this because we appreciate the hard work.
Really, like, you and I in the podcast world are a lot like when the Incredible parents are watching Dash try to get second place in the race at the end of the first Incredibles movie. Like, the kid clearly could have lapped everybody a dozen times over in a 100-meter dash. But it's hard getting second when you're great.
Yeah, it's hard to be the 7,947th most viewed movie podcast on the internet.
Mm-hmm. So, but we do it because we want to.
Yeah, that's our goals, folks, right there.
It's kind of like Yuri said. It's hard making an honest dollar because everybody's doing it. Everybody's trying to be number one. We don't want to be.
No.
So we're not, because that's what we want.
Mission accomplished.
And we'll be back next week to continue being second rate.
Mediocre.
Right. Mid, as the kids say. We're so mid. Yeah, that's right.
Mid by intent.
Yeah, anytime I feel like anytime I'm feeling us getting ahead, I just watch a Morton Joe.
Morton Joe.
Mediocre. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Joe. That's what I needed.
Shiny and chrome.
Right. So yeah, that's my is that climbing to the top. It is that easy. Like, it was kind of a rhetorical question. I knew that it would be an easy one to ask. That's why I wrote it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to be that way.
Because you're the best at writing mediocre questions.
When I want to be. Sometimes I'm the best at looking mediocre. Because that's what I choose.
I've mastered that.
You are really good at it.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the biggest compliment you've ever given me.
I've never seen anybody better at being average.
Yes. Right. My wife tells me that every day as well. Feels so good to hear those words come out of her mouth.
She's like, straightening your collar. You go to work and you be the best average person you can be.
Don't be too good. Don't be awful. Just be meh.
Just be a casserole.
So we were talking pre-show. This movie, we compare you to give credit where credit's due. You called this movie like the casserole of meals.
It is.
It's good.
It serves its purpose. Yeah. It's not a waste of time. You're fulfilled and it's tasty.
Yeah, you can share it with other people.
But when you ask people what's your favorite food, you hear things like steak, sushi, pasta,
Yeah.
Cheeseburger, what pizza, what's your favorite food? Casserole. Like, nobody ever.
Green bean casserole.
I might start saying that. I might. What's your favorite? Breakfast casserole.
It just nothing competes with the crunchy onions on top.
Right? Biscuits and gravy
Sells
casserole.
it. Anything with 4 cans of cream of mushroom soup.
What's your favorite meal? Walking taco? Like,
Non-foot-long corn dog.
right? Quarter-pound hot dogs.
Wendy's.
Summer sausage. That's my favorite.
Bologna sandwich.
But with the red ring on.
Yes, yeah, with red ring. With pimento.
What's your let's get to your
Why does anyone cast Jared Leto? I'm not letting this one go.
I don't blame you.
Why? Why does anyone cast him? Like,
because he's pretty.
You beat me to it. He's a pretty man. He's got those blue eyes that just pop on film.
Yeah.
But like, is he really a good actor? Like,
no. Andrew Niccol wrote this movie and directed it. Do you think do you think this was his joke to the world, where he casts Jared Leto and then gives Bridget Moynihan the speech like, the only thing I was good at was being pretty?
I think he actually wrote the Ava role for Jared Leto.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that's how he sees Jared Leto in Hollywood. Yeah. So he casts him and then giggles as he's writing this part, describing his success.
And then he shows up on set and refuses to do that because he's Jared Leto and he doesn't play by your rules, man.
Right. He says, I tried acting and I failed. The only thing I'm good at, I was born pretty. Like,
so he insisted on playing the Vitaly role instead of Ava.
Right. He had Jared Leto behind the camera. She stared right into the frame, right into the lens to say those parts. Jared, come on over and be the cameraman for this one. The camera wasn't on, by the way.
No, they just... Well,
he just screwed it up.
Well, hey, folks, that's Lord of War.
Yeah,
good movie.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a good. I don't know if it's 7.6 on IMDb good, but
right. Well,
good.
the thing is, and here's my theory: it's 7.6 on IMDb good because the people that have seen Lord of War were the ones that rated Lord of War. I mean, obviously that's the case for all of them. But like when you go to like Shawshank Redemption and you're seeing like 191,000 reviews or something like that, but it's like the people that like sought out to see Lord of War are the people that then hopped on IMDb to rate.
Yeah.
Like you and I'm not going to go rate Lord of War on IMDb.
No.
I don't care. But the people that took the time to go rate the movie rated it highly because that's how they thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Donald Rumsfeld loves this movie.
Donald Rumsfeld. He's just
way up there.
Every day. He starts every day, just sits in a towel and watches Lord of War every morning.
just like on the edge of his bed.
with his elbows on his knees and his chin in his palms.
Eating carrot sticks. He's like ants on a log for his nap while he's watching Lord
Carrots
of War.
and raisins. Never gonna think of Donald Rumsfeld the same way again. Cottage cheese holding the raisins on there.
That's right. He's got pineapple rings on each of his fingers.
Oh, he just has such a good time watching Lord of War.
Lord of War time.
Tell the grandkids to get out of here. Oh, hey,
Lord of War time.
Lord of War time. Hey, guys, what do we got in store next week?
Next week, we're going to another one of those worldwide problems that kill a lot of people, much like this movie. Next week, we're going to talk about World War Z.
Yes.
We're going to cover the zombie pandemic as it impacts nations globally.
Yes.
And how Brad Pitt can solve it.
He does. He could solve anything, that Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to save my descriptor of Brad Pitt, but a couple of years ago, one of our earlier episodes was Legends of the Fall, where we playfully referred to him as peak meat Brad Pitt, because
and he was
he was a good looking hunk of meat there.
Yeah, it's like that movie was so bonkers, but.
And now he's naked on a pirate ship, and that actually happened in this movie.
Yeah.
This movie set in Montana.
They just followed him around for like 3 months.
This movie primarily set in Montana, in Helena, Montana. He's naked on a pirate ship.
That's right,
because that's peak meat Brad Pitt.
He's peak meat Brad Pitt, but he's This is a little later in his career.
Yes.
World War
Yes.
Z.
I'll have some other adjectives for Brad.
Yeah, we were going back and forth quite a bit yesterday.
I think I settled on a couple of good ones.
The World War Z, the Max Brooks based movie. Max Brooks had written a book called World War Z. He had also written another book called the Zombie Survival Guide. And so just kind of tongue-in-cheek, fun, fascinated with the zombie horror. And they made a big movie out of it. And it is a spaghetti of plot, my friends.
It is. As we were texting back and forth. I was watching it yesterday at the time of this filming, and I literally had a full page of notes about 15 minutes into the movie, and then the entire rest of the movie I had one more page in total.
Yeah.
So once they got out of the first big thing, you don't want to go too far into it, then for me it slowed down a lot.
It's like your first time cross country runner.
Yeah.
Like they took off at a sprint, not realizing they need to pace themselves. Yeah, this movie that goes full throttle and then they back off and idle
and
for a while.
And they put it on cruise control.
But no, my wife's a big fan of this movie, which is why it's on this list this month. So, and it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a zombie movie.
Yeah.
It's a zombie movie.
It's kind of a different take on a zombie movie.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So, yeah, we'll be back next week with World War Z, number 2 of 5 war movies coming up this month in November. So, social media-wise, you guys know where to find us. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Patreon link down below. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends.
The holidays are coming up, Oz. Give the gift of Patreon to your family members.
Just give the gift of subscribing to the channel. Tell your friends. Maybe you're like, I can't figure out what to get Uncle Jim for Christmas because he's so hard to shop for. Just tell him about our show.
That's all you got to do.
Like, hey, I know that everybody wants to know what the best podcasts are. Have you guys ever listened to one that's pretty average?
That's okay?
Yeah, by choice, like we mentioned earlier. Check us out. So that's it for another episode. Like we mentioned, we'll be back next week with World War Z. For Let's Talk About Flicks, I'm
Curtis.
We'll see you then.